You are in for a treat. We're asking the question today, or making the comment, make your kid a millionaire. What can we do to make ourselves financially literate, make our children financially literate, and live that lifestyle that we all want to live?
This is On the Couch with Dr. K, a show focused on answering the questions of urban and hip-hop adults rising to reach personal stars in daily life. Now, here's your host, Dr. K.
Good afternoon. You're on the couch with Dr. K. I am your hostess, Dr. K, and you are in for an absolute treat this afternoon. I have a room full of super duper intelligent people in this room. I mean, there's so much knowledge and information in here. I think I already have a brain freeze going on. So I want to go around the room and first of all, just thank everyone for listening in today. And I'm going to let everyone here introduce himself and just tell us why you're here today and a little bit about what you do. And we're going to start directly to my right.
Yeah, Ron Moore, just really, have a very passionate cause as far as really helping the youth really understand financial literacy and how can they accomplish their dreams to really lock in a legacy for long term. So when you make great quality financial decisions, it will last a lifetime. So how do we break the cycle and make great decisions?
Great. Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ron. Yay. Okay. Moving right along.
All right. Well, good afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
I'm Ron Lewis. I'm a financial literacy consultant with Financial Education Services. And similar to Ron, we got a high purpose, right? Our purpose is really to break the financial illiteracy cycle in our communities. When you really think about it, our kids got a long way to go to understand what's going on with financial literacy. And specifically, when we're talking about setting goals, we're talking about making budgets. We're talking about delayed gratification, not necessarily instant gratification, right? We're talking about helping kids, breaking the cycle, but we're also talking about educating adults.
Yes, that's
right.
What
we have an opportunity to educate adults on, I had a conversation with a gentleman who said cash is king. And I told him that's true, but credit gives you options.
Wow.
So we need to understand how we got to help, not just we got to break the cycle of the youth, but also we got an opportunity with what we're doing to really educate America. So our cause is pretty big.
Okay, good job. I like that. And my young protege, Shawn Da Barber.
How you doing? I'm Shawn Da Barber, and I'm a part of that youth that's trying to lock in a legacy financially.
Okay.
And I'm just here to gain knowledge and take it and run with it the best way I can.
Shawn, I was so excited when you, on Facebook, you said, I will be there. And I'm like, wow, he is so smart. You always choose the best shows to come to. I'm so jealous because youth and time is on your side. And because you are so proactive and so intelligent, I already know you're going to be a millionaire. So you'll probably be a billionaire because that's what you'll need.
There you go.
By that point. Moving right along.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, my name is Chris Eggleston, President and CEO of Global Innovation Now. And my company, we create mobile apps for businesses.
Okay.
And we have like 20 in the iPhone and Android market now. But what we want to do with the Global Innovation Now Roundtable, that's why I'm glad you guys are here. We actually have over 200 businesses that need that financial education.
All right.
And we would love for those businesses to get this information to start a legacy. A lot of businesses jump out in business and just say, hey, I'm in business. But we want to grow that. And what we've been doing is actually helping all these businesses with their needs. You'll come in and say, hey, what are your needs?
Right.
We don't pretty much sell our services. We say, what do you need? And then we let other businesses help you out. And then the more they help you out, the more you see that, hey, if I can get more businesses to help me out, my business will be stronger.
Absolutely.
I can make their businesses stronger.
Absolutely.
And then financially, that y'all bring that aspect into it. So I'm just glad to be in this room to get this education with you.
Exactly.
I'm learning.
Exactly. We have the financial roundtable here already. Yeah. And, we want to go ahead and get right into our topic for today. But I also just want to thank listeners for being here today our very last show at AM 990. This is the last show. We're going to take a break in June and do a couple of appearances. We will be at Cars, Cans, and Kids, which is actually a charitable event that will be downtown next Saturday, and I'll read more about that a little bit later. We will also come back to these studios in July to be on the Unleashed Voice to talk about bullying and children within the LGBTQ community. So those are a couple of things we'll be doing. We'll be keeping you up to date and up to point on where we're going and what's happening, because this is a show for everybody. And I want to know what you want to talk about. We'll be going to 2 hours to 5:30 till 7:30 p.m. on Tuesdays. So this is really an opportunity for all of us to shape this show to be what we want it to be. So remember to go to onthecouchwithdrk.com. That's our brand new website, which is always manned by my super intelligent intern, Stanley Shotwell II. Thank you, Stanley. Hey, he does such a great job. But if you will go there and leave your comments, let us know what you would like for us to talk about. If you're on Facebook, you can always go to our fan page at On the Couch with Dr. K or Dr. K Streeter and leave us comments. If you would like to actually be on the show, go ahead, send us your information. We're always interested in bringing the community into the show with us. We'll be going to 98.5 New Mix FM, the very first bilingual station here in Memphis, and there will be several ways for you to catch us live. You can catch us on the radio. Go ahead and download the app now. It's free. 985newmix.org. So you can listen to it on your computer. You can watch us live, and we will also be on Blog Talk Radio, so then you can listen to us on your telephone as well. So we have lots of things that are coming up, and we want all of you to please be a part of it. We've loved all of the information, activity, and all of the participation you've given us up to this point, and we want to just keep it alive, keep it moving, and keep increasing. So we're going to start with the two runs, asking you, what is the number one thing our listeners can do to get their children on that trajectory?
I'll start off with that. I'd say the first thing is to understand that we got to do more than allowing just the school system to prepare our kids for the future in regards to financial literacy. I think we got to start explaining them and teaching them proper money management habits at home, even if it's something as simple as an allowance program, where you give them an allowance. And we actually have a program where we run that through our YFL, our Youth Financial Literacy Foundation, where we teach proper money management habits. But it starts with teaching the skills, right? Teaching the kids how money works, right? Teaching the kids to if you get a check for, let's say, $20 allowance, well, you don't go spend $20, right? You set up for a goal, and you set up for multiple goals. I actually put this exercise through my my 9-year-old daughter, and she saved up for a Crayola kit, a doll, and an anniversary gift for me and my wife.
Oh, wow.
In addition, so what it taught her was her general savings, her 3 goals attained, and then also her net worth. Oh. Right? So, it's a very good exercise. It teaches money management habits. But as kids get older, say to the gentleman to my right, well, he's going to be learning eventually how credit is important. Right. Well, the reality is when we all go off to college, what do we see? We see a table full of vendors giving away credit cards. Yes, and we sign up for them. And we ruin our credit
because we don't realize we have to pay for that.
Because we don't realize. That's exactly right.
Or pay on time.
That's right. There's a lot of fundamental principles that we have to teach kids. So to be a millionaire is really a mindset, really, right? So what we don't understand is we give away hundreds of thousands of dollars due to high interest rates, right? You think about predatory lending, right? There's 12 million Americans that were tied into predatory lending institutions this year. Oh, right. Okay. And it's not just big loans. Okay. Even small loans. Let's say a loan for $300. Well, you got to pay back $500. That's a pretty big interest pay. Right. You think about that. They're paying 300% and 400% interest right here, inner city Memphis, there's 900 payday loan places. Why is that? And that's because they understand people are financially illiterate. And they see a sign that says, need $500, come see us. We'll give it to you.
Right.
So this is a big deal, right? This is a big deal. And I really, what we're talking about is it's big, and it needs to be a serious cause, right? We're our mission is hashtag Project Memphis.
Okay.
Project Mid-South. And our goal is to really start with the Mid-South and eventually branch this out to the United States of America. So it's very important, right? This is long overdue.
Right.
And we're pretty excited about this. So to answer your question, it's about really instilling those money management habits, because these have to be habits.
Yes, I was going to say, it sounds like it has to be a mindset.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know some of these predatory lenders really tap into the mindset that a lot of us who are in poverty have, which is right now.
That's right.
We don't think long term, we think short term. So we think, oh, yeah, well, I'll worry about that extra $200 that I'm going to have to pay back this $300 at another time, because I need $300 right now, or I want $300 right now. And so that's a different mindset that we really, really have to work on and pass down to the next generation, sounds like.
I did a lot of studying on this, and there's a huge faith-based push right now at attacking the predatory lenders. But the reality is, it's not the predatory lender's fault.
Yes.
Right? We don't have to go there.
Exactly.
Right? So it's about educating people on why you shouldn't go there. The reality is, I can go to Chris and borrow $300 and say, hey, can I pay you 10% back on that? How about I give you $330? Right? I'm still going to pay Chris back. Or maybe I can borrow 100, and give everybody 10% back.
Right.
And so I just gave everybody interest. Everybody made money, but I didn't go to the institution of the predatory lending.
Can I chime in on that?
Yes, please do. Because that's getting into some other deep stuff.
I was just talking about this with a friend, and I was telling them about the businesses that we have. Everybody, let's just say everybody gets in the room. 100 companies put up $100. That's $10,000. In 1 year, that's $120,000. You know, that type of money we can start networking and spending with each other. We waste $100.
Right.
Every business
at the club.
Right. At the club.
Eating out.
That's what people do.
We looked at that, and we did the demographic. We polled all these businesses, and we said, you know what? If it's 100 companies do it, 1,000 companies do it. Right. So if 1,000 companies blow $100, and this is quick stats, 1,000 companies blowing that 100 in 1 year, that's 1.2 million. In 5 years, that's $6 million. Are we going to keep blowing that money, not investing it? That's why I want this education, because
here's the problem, Chris.
Go ahead,
the problem is there's a lack of trust amongst us.
Yes, that's what I was going to. Yes,
there's a lack of trust.
People want to know, well, where's the $100 going?
We will trust the predatory lender before we trust us. So we really have to figure out, okay, how are we going to instill a trust?
Yes.
And to grow.
Yes.
Right? And that's what we got to get to.
And they want a plan. They want that plan of something like, I put my money up, but what am I getting back from it? Like you said, where's that money going?
Yes.
When they don't look at where it's going when it goes to Michael Kors and Nike and iPhone, new iPhone, new Android. That's where we have to just get them to grab that concept and take it back a step further, all the way in 1921, the Black Wall Street.
There you
Black
go.
Wall Street.
There you go.
That's all they did. It was 600 businesses spending with each other. And they just networked and used that, hey, you need something, I'm going to pay you. Whatever you need, you pay him with the money I just gave you.
That's right.
Whatever you need, and then next thing you know, this guy right here, he done paid me back the money I gave him, and everybody got
the money never left.
And
money never left.
I want to expand it even beyond African Americans, because I've had some listeners who've pointed out to me, clearly your show is only about African Americans, but it's an issue for anyone who does not have money. It is about being in poverty, and if you're in poverty, you have one color in common, and that is green, which is invisible in your life, and you need more of it. And when you were talking about that trust, that also comes from loving yourself.
Wow.
Okay.
If you love yourself and you love somebody who looks like you, regardless of what color they are, it's easier to trust. But if you hate yourself, then you can't trust somebody who looks like you or acts like you or talks like you or is from where you're from.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick analysis. The company that we actually work with financial education services, we have what's called a protection plan membership.
Okay.
And when you think about this, it's an $87 membership a month. Okay. So that's less than $3 a day. But so let's talk about what comes with this, right? So individuals have credit restoration, they have credit education, they have credit monitoring. In the event, say they go through identity theft, they have a credit attorney on staff that will, in the case the bureaus will not remove negative items off their information that does not belong. They don't have to go out and buy an attorney or pay for an attorney. We have a program for them.
Okay.
What's the fastest growing crime in America right now?
Yes.
Identity theft, right?
Identity theft.
We also have LifeLock under this $87. We have a living will trust healthcare power of attorney. How many folks have relatives that die off and they leave nothing but liabilities?
Can't do nothing.
Yes,
No
and then you have
assets
to
are left
go
behind,
and call
right?
all your cousins
file
to
everything.
bury your great aunt
And
Mamie
I won't
or
go through all the services,
Jocelyn.
but there's so much more. Right?
Yes.
And this is less than $3 a day. Now, I had a conversation with a young man the other day. I said, let me explain something to you. I said, let's say you make $50,000 a year. Let's say this year your boss gives you a 3% raise. You're going to get $1,500 this year. And when we annualize that, that's going to be $125 a month. When Uncle Sam gets his piece, you're going to get $100 extra a month. Okay. Now, if you have bad credit, you're paying high interest rates for your auto. You're paying high interest rates for your insurance. And if you're a homeowner, you're paying high interest rates as well. And if you're a credit card user, you're paying high interest rates as well. Right.
Right.
Now, if you actually get your credit card score up, your credit score rather, you could literally give yourself a $500 to $700 pay raise.
Yes, because
So that
you go
87
down in
that's
interest.
Right. So
Yes.
when I tell you we're so excited about the opportunities that we have to educate people, but there's a challenge. In addition to trust, people aren't logical.
I'm going to stop you on that, and let's get to our caller. We're going to come back. Hi, caller. You're on the couch with Dr. K. You have a question or a comment?
Yeah, Dr. K, this is James Jones. How you doing?
Hi, James Jones. How are you? It's so great to hear from you. And I understand we have an event coming up. You want to tell us about that? And can you send me that spot so we can play it here on the show today? So tell us about Cars, Cans, and Kids.
Okay, it's a non-profit event, a canned food drive for the Mid-South Food Bank. We have a car exhibit with a couple of car clubs coming out.
What kind of cars?
Also honoring Camaros, Corvettes, just whatever the car clubs have that they're usually use.
Cool.
And we're honoring two youth organizations, Benjamin Hook's Job Corps and the Diamonds Incorporated, who do a lot of community work with the youth.
All right. Well, listen, I'm so glad you called in because we're talking about making your kid a millionaire. So everyone here is about the youth. So this is going to be a great event. Tell us one more time the time and the place. Okay,
yeah, it's this Saturday at the Hickory Ridge Mall, and it's going to be between 12 and 6 p.m. Everything is free, free food, live entertainment. Our beautiful host, Dr. K.
Yay!
And youth entertainment and enrichment.
Okay. Well, listen, I really appreciate all the work you're doing, and thank you so much for calling in. And please continue to listen, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, and we have another caller. Hi, caller. You're on the couch with Dr. K. You have a question or a comment?
Yes, hi. I have a question in reference to Ronnie Lewis. I believe he's up there, and I was calling to find out a little bit more information. I myself, I'm a young man that just got started in the business in reference to credit restoration, financial education services, and I was inquiring about how to connect your why, as far as the reason why I'm doing this, which is my family. How can you connect that to the desire and get to that next level? Do you have any kinds of, maybe question or answers for that?
Wow, that's a deep question. I'm going to let them answer. Thank you so much for calling, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, either one of the runs.
Yeah, so just really basically when you talk about your why, first it's got to be something that you're passionate about. So your why have to be what's driving you to go to that next level. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? And really have that type of passion and what people can relate to. Nobody wants something that they can see through. So you got to really have a testimony, and people can connect to testimonies.
Right.
And so that will be your why. Why are you doing this? How can you really drive and make change? So if you're looking to really help the youth become financial literate, if you want to help them out, and help them establish that legacy, why are you doing this? Where are you trying to go? How can you help them? Because the number one mission, it should be really trying to see them become successful.
Right.
Because that's how you leave legacies, to see them successful, not seeing things that's put in a yard sale where you collect over a period of time. So why are you doing this? I think that's very important, and people have to connect to the whys.
I also believe that sometimes people have a desire and they understand, but they have developed a habit, almost like an addiction to things.
Yeah, it is an addiction.
And so it's not just about money, but it is about freeing your mind and freeing your heart and your soul from these connections to material things. I've seen so many parents who feel like they are loving their children by working 3 jobs so they can provide things for their kids rather than time. And time is what the kid needs, not necessarily a brand new pair of $100 tennis shoes. Go ahead, Chris.
You know, we get programmed. That's just that
Yes.
programming. Right. Watching TV and watching the radio and listening to the radio. I mean, well, definitely listen to the talk show radio. But I'm saying a lot of rap music and a lot of music, different music genres is like they're teaching you things that you should not constantly repeat.
Yes.
You know, you're repeating this because it's the top radio, it's the top show or the top song for that
Right.
month, but you're repeating this negative concept, and they don't understand that that's what they're doing.
Right.
Then they look at these shows, and then that's getting into their emotions. And what I wanted to comment with you saying that we should start targeting them a little earlier, maybe before they're business owners, like how you said, once they're coming out right out of high school. I mean, right out of high school, you should probably know about your credit. You should know about, you know, buying a house. You should know about a savings bond.
Exactly.
Your parents should be putting that in your bank account. You should be getting at least a $500 savings bond for every year that you're in school. Something that they know that years on you'll have this and it can be of value to you. So I commend you on
that's something that we do. That's part of our mission that we do want. Up in Detroit, there's groups that actually run the same program, and what they're doing is they partner up with credit unions. So when the kids graduate through the money management curriculum, they'll get a donation at the end sponsored by us, and then in addition, that credit union will match that and let them open an account. So we're going to be trying to partner up with some credit unions and banks here locally, and it's a big mission, to be honest with you. So it's a call. It's a lot of moving parts. Yeah, and it's just getting one person to say I'm with you, and then they'll start building from there.
And one thing, you know, if you really think about, I just passed around, hopefully everybody's on the webcam, I just gave everybody a pen.
We get to keep it?
Yeah, you get to keep it.
I just earned 20 cents
There
today.
you go. Everybody got a pen, but when you just think about what this thing can actually do, I just want to break down the word pen, and we have a concept that we just really look at. So when you just think about the P, it's really going back to reprogram your mind. So if you program your mind and you really think about the possibilities of the things that you can have and the things that you can, and places where you can go, it all starts there. And you got to have that desire. Well, you got to move to the E. When you look at the E, you really got to just think about, how do I explore, and I got to learn. I got to learn about the material. I got to become, I got to educate myself. And so when you look at that, thinking about, and how do I ignite action? And so I think that's very important. When you just look at the P, you look at the E, but most important, the N. So how do I navigate change? Because I control my destiny, I have to navigate change, and it's just something we give our kids pens. Everyone use a pen, so you got to keep the concepts very simple, where people can. You pick up a pen every day, so you got to say, hey, you know what? I need to stop for a second, reprogram my mind, think about where I want to go, and generate. Look at the possibilities where I can go and the things that I can have if I'm paying a lower interest rate.
And it's all about the people you're around.
Exactly.
Yes.
Surround yourself with the right people, because it's like your circle. And I actually just posted this. It was like, your circle, your income is probably going to be a circle of your 5 best friends. And it's all about who you communicate with. You surround yourself with millionaires, guarantee you'll come up with an idea to be a millionaire. But if you surround yourself with people that just, are into the, these social media sites, Empire. I mean, I love the show. I'd never seen it. I hear so much about it. But I say I love it because I don't want to run off fans,
Right.
And that's bad that, you can't, you have an opinion or something and then people don't like you just because, you don't watch TV. And I catch sports maybe. But other than that, I try to surround myself and with self-help stuff. Jim Rome is Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Les Brown.
I'm going to have to charge all of you all so many $20 for these shameless plugs of other people. But I'm just messing with you. But
I ain't say nothing.
that's you know about the charge. I make lots of money on the shameless plugs. Let me go to what one of my Facebook friends has to say. Lisa says, the way you make your kids rich is by purchasing real estate and life insurance. Make yourself rich by starting your retirement savings at a young age. What do you say to that? Does anybody have a response to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you're in the position to purchase your kids' real estate, that is a good asset to have for your kids. In addition, and what was the part 2? I'm sorry.
She said to make yourself rich, you need to start your retirement savings at a young age.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody who has the opportunity to invest in a 401k on their job, absolutely should be doing that. And if you have an opportunity for your kids, 529Bs, right, IRAs, anything you can get involved in, yes. But, right now we're talking about obviously educating the basic fundamentals.
Right.
Right, because we got to get the fundamentals into the kids as well.
Okay.
But real estate, investments, all those things are absolutely important.
So she's talking about something that's even at another level.
Yeah, I think that is a part of, say, stage 2 or maybe even stage 3.
Okay.
Back to Chris's point, catching them coming out. And before they go into collegiate institutions, hey, let's talk about credit real quick.
Right. Exactly.
Get a lot of pre-approved cards that's going to have like $5,000 limit.
And they're like, man, I could really be, styling with this $500 credit card, which you're going to be done within a week. Let's go to our caller. Hi, caller. You're on the couch with Dr. K. You have a question or a comment?
I guess this is Sam Woods out of Huntsville, Alabama. How are you doing, Dr.
Hi,
K?
Sam Woods. So glad you called in. You have a question or a comment? Yes, sir. Great to hear from you.
Yeah, I actually had a chance to work with a gentleman that you have a couple of gentlemen that you have on your panel today, and I just wanted to make a general comment that I've actually utilized the services that Financial Education Services provide, and it's an excellent company.
Okay.
And I just wanted to, just in general, I agree with all the comments that the callers have called and chimed in with. And also, it starts with the kids. The biggest thing I see in the community, if we want our kids to be millionaires, we got to treat financial education with the same passion that we do as it would a kid that was maybe going to a basketball game or put the same type of energy that we utilize when we're trying to get them to practice, and we're supporting them and traveling all over the state and all over the region in order to ensure that they become good basketball or good football players. If we treated financial education with that same type of passion, I think we'd be able to turn this thing around.
Oh yeah, right. Sam, if I could comment on that, Sam,
that's pretty much it.
I had a comment.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much for calling, and please continue to listen. Okay.
I sure will.
Okay, now what was your comment on that?
Yeah, I had a conversation with a group of young men. I said, hey, if Michael Jordan invited you to come to the gym and play basketball at 3 a.m., would you go? They were like, absolutely, we'd be there in a minute. I said, well, how about if Warren Buffett invited you? Who is he?
Right, exactly.
This is one of the wealthiest guys walking around. But we'd show up, to Sam's point, we'd show up to learn how to put a ball in the basket. But we won't show up to learn how to be financial literate and hopefully wealthy.
Wow. And you're right. It's a mindset. We have to get excited about having a great life. Go ahead, Chris.
How do we make that famous? How do we make being successful as famous as, or as glorified as everything else? Like, that's what I was really leaning towards.
Yes, exactly.
I want to ask that to you guys.
Yeah, when you really think about it, Chris, everyone wants to have that financial freedom. So when you start, there's 226 schools right here in the Memphis area. So when you start at a very young age, by the time they get to the high school, they already have these concepts in them. So I know how to make great decisions. I reprogram myself. And so thanks, Mom, for taking me to the store to buy these Jordans, but I don't really need those Jordans. That money that you want to give me, let me invest that, right? So you're changing a mindset, and because if you give, how are we really taking the time to think about financial independency? We're not, because the next thing that we're going to do is, well, now that I'm out of the house, I don't have these concepts in me. So, yeah, I want that credit card. I'm going to create more debt. Well, once you're doing that, you don't know what's happening on the backside. So when you look at what's on the backside, I need to think about possibilities. That's why I always need to carry a pen with me. You won't see me without a pen because I need to remember what my possibilities are. Right. So, and how do I, just take it to the next level and learn? The material is out there. We'll learn a rap song faster than we'll pick up the book. Right. We'll know all the lyrics. Right. You'll see 2-year-old, 3-year-old. They'll talk about all the lyrics, but talk about financial independency.
And back to your point, Miss Skeeter, when you said that, that this is like a black thing, and I want to reiterate.
Not even a black
really.
thing. I think it's a socioeconomic thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's everybody should learn this.
Everybody needs to learn it.
Background.
Yes. And what I found is sometimes money is such a taboo subject. I mean, it's even more taboo than sex, because you might walk around talking about sex with people, but if you start saying, hey, how much money do you make every year? People are like ready. They can't believe you would ask that question. How much money do you make? Or, hey, what's your credit score? You can't ask those questions. We don't talk about it, and a lot of parents don't talk about it, especially when they are in dire straits financially, because there's an embarrassment about where they are financially. They're not literate, and rather than even trying to say to their children, listen, I made mistakes, but I want you to do better. We just want to cover it up or not talk about it or act like it doesn't exist. We want to, pretend like we're making more money than we actually make, or we want to live above our means. And all of that gets back to the mindset. Even though we're talking about money here, it all stems from a mindset and loving yourself. Because if you love yourself, it doesn't really matter how much money you make. So if you don't have enough, that should not affect your concept of yourself. And you should be able to be honest and say, hey, we don't have money right now, but we're going to set a plan, work on it, and get out of this situation. Yeah. We're going to go to a break, but when we come back, we will look at our stats and facts and our 4 points and all that good stuff. We are running out of time. That's why we're going to 2 hours. I know. Okay, we'll be right back after these messages. For legal experience with a Christian touch, call the law offices of Attorney Victoria Gillard. We stop foreclosures and repossessions. Other areas of our practice include personal injury, civil and criminal matters, divorce, child support, child custody, and Social Security cases. Call today at 901-624-8852 for a free consultation. Are you considering buying or selling a home and don't know where to start? Call Sharon Brown of Cry-Like Realtors at 901-355-7271. To learn more about the services offered by Sharon Brown, visit her on the web at www.sharonbrown.cry-like.com or like her on Facebook today. Her success comes when your home is sold or you have the keys to your new home. Call Sharon Brown of Cry-Like Realtors at 901-355-7271 for all your real estate needs today. Streeter's Total Beauty is a hair salon that invites you to enjoy a lifestyle full of beauty today. Dial 901-649-0559. Look to Randa Patton Streeter's lifestyle blog, which also invites you to enjoy a lifestyle full of high fashion and glamour. Like her on Facebook today. Karen Streeter Psychological Consulting is a firm dedicated to helping parents, schools, churches, and organizations assess and treat learning, emotional, and behavior difficulties in children. We offer services such as IQ testing, academic testing, behavior analysis, behavioral planning, preventive counseling, parent training, staff development, professional development, crisis management, and risk assessments, and so much more. To enrich the lives of your children, call Karen Streeter Psychological Consulting at 901-650-2569 or email me at kstreeter5@aol.com. Yeah, all right. We are excited here. We are getting excited about money. Somebody sent me a text and said, explain the 2 hours. Well, for those of you who don't know, we're moving to 98.5 New Mix FM beginning in July, and we will be on Tuesdays from 5:30 until 7:30 p.m. We were just saying over the break that this is not enough time to really, get into everything we want to talk about. I mean, I feel like I'm going to have to fly now through my stats and facts, which were found by my super intelligent intern, Stanley Shotwell II. Thank you, Stanley. Turn the camera on yourself so people can see. Look at Stanley. Look at him. He's like worked himself to the bone. Well, no, actually, he started off at the perfect weight, so that's fine. So, our stats and facts for today, I wanted him to look at the percent of U.S. children living in poverty by race and location, and then the economic mobility among children born into poverty, middle, and upper class. And I wanted him to look at mobility so that we can see who is moving up from poverty. So let's start off with children living in poverty. According to the National Center for Children in Poverty, more than 16 million children in the United States, that's 22% of all children, live in families with incomes below the federal poverty level, and that is $23,550 a year for a family of 4. So to me, that is mind-boggling, because a family of 4, it's hard for a family of 4 to live on $50,000. And here we're talking about $23,000 a year. That's less than $1,000 a month for 4 people. Yeah. So really, I would move that and say $50,000. And I'll bet you if we looked put that as at a range, put that as, the number, I'm sure we would be talking about half of the kids in the United States who really are, I won't say in poverty, but are financially strapped, who have some issues. Their family has some issue with being able to get all of the money they need to really not only get everything they need, but also to get a few wants in life. Because you don't want to come, live here, and go away and never do some of the things you want to do, see some of the places you want to see, or have some of the things you want to have. It's all about balance. So now let's look at economic mobility among children in the U.S. A 2012 study sought to answer why some children do better than others based on certain characteristics, such as parental income at various stages of life. So basically, they're saying that the chance that a child born into a family in the top income quintile will end up in the top 3 quintiles by the time they're in their 40s is 82%. So that means if your family is well off, you have an 82% chance that if you don't just cut up and go crazy, you will be in the upper echelons as well. Now, the chance for a child born into a family in the bottom quintile, the chance for them to get to middle class or above is only 30%. So what does that mean? that means that, hey, you have at least a 30% chance of making it to the top.
Yeah.
So it's not something that can't happen. It can happen. You may have to struggle a little more than other people, but it can happen. So any quick comment on that before we go? Okay, Randa, you have something to say?
Well, I think I heard someone talk about association brings on a simulation. And I remember my dad, he used to always tell us, association brings on a simulation. And I used to think he was just being funny and mean. And
funny and mean. That's hard to be at the same time. But go ahead.
Mean. I see it now. You know, once you become an adult, you have responsibilities. There's some people, I'm sorry to say, you have to back away from. Okay? Because if you associate with those people, not saying that there's anything wrong with them, but if their moral values are totally different from yours, their responsibilities with finances are totally opposite from yours, being exposed to different things are different from yours, they won't understand you. So as far as making your child a millionaire or having them focusing on becoming a millionaire or a billionaire, as Adrian Broner says, he's about billions. I think you have to be about your business per se.
Right.
You have to stay focused. You're going to have to X some people out of your
circle
or out of your circle.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may end up being or meaning that you may feel lonely. But at the end,
you gotta love yourself.
You love yourself. You love your purse.
Literally.
You love what's in the bank. You love what you're driving, and you love where you're living, and you love where you're able to go.
Okay, we have another caller. Thank you, Randa. Very, very good. Hi, caller. You're on the couch with Dr. K. You have a question or a comment?
Yes, ma'am, Dr. K. My name is Swan Lanfair.
Yes.
I had a lot of interesting information, some of it that I was familiar with and some that I wasn't. And just kind of to echo on what I've heard, I believe it starts with us trusting each other as a community. And a lot of it, I believe, is socioeconomic, but ultimately some of it boils down to the skin that we're in. But just listening to all these guys, it's kind of, how can I say, it's excited me about getting on the right path. Rather.
Great. That's what we're here for. We're here to excite and educate and pull and push everybody here to a greater and higher path. So thank you so much for that comment. And please continue to listen and call back again, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, we are almost out of time. Sean, go ahead.
Okay, I just found out the facts that household people that don't have a high income for their kids to, it's a 30% chance of kids becoming famous.
Right.
Which I can totally agree with that. But what Ms. Streeter was basically saying, was the main point that she missed out on, all the youth have to do is just listen. Because it's a lot of people out here that's actually giving us opportunities and want to listen, and try to help us. But us as youth don't want to listen to the elderly people.
Right.
Or the younger, older.
Oh, yeah. The more seasoned adults.
The more advanced individuals.
Let me get my walker.
I can say, as far as with Shawn,
right.
He was one of my students, and I have many students.
Yes.
That listen.
Yes.
And I remembered a couple of weeks ago, my principal, Mr. McClain, and some of the other teachers were talking about how proud they were of you to see you on a post-secondary level competing at Skills USA. We took you there on your, when you were in high school, but you're taking it to another step, and we're able to show other students you can do it too.
Yay!
Okay?
To Sean's point, see, the youth, you guys don't always see the beginning, right? You guys see the end. See, the product you're looking at today, I'm an inner city product of Los Angeles. I grew up on the inner city, on the east side. I've seen a young lady killed in the front of my lawn, okay? So when I tell you the product you see today is not the product I was 20 plus years ago, okay? So my purpose, I'm no different than a lot of these kids that are here in inner city Memphis, but my mother pushed me very hard for education, distilled a lot about the importance of credit, the importance of financial literacy. So a lot of it started at home. So what I tell my son and my 2 daughters is, this is what you see today, but I want you guys even to have higher dreams and aspirations, right? But we always push with the educational piece because we got to, it's general knowledge that you're going to get in school, but we got to teach them the financial knowledge to go out and survive in the world, right? So what you see today is not a product of what I grew up as.
Wow, and that leads us into our 4-point star for today, and I want you to say it with me. The 4-point star today is cash. Say that with me. Cash. Let's spell it together. CASH. Cash. So C. Consider educating yourself. Consider going into some type of financial literacy program, get a CD, read a book, take a class, do whatever you need to do to educate yourself so that A, you can ask questions. Ask questions and ask people who are actually certified to give you the correct answers. Ask a certified professional so that you know that you're giving and getting the right information. So not your cousin Mookie them, because they may not know. You need to actually ask a qualified professional. S, set a good example. Even if you have not been financially literate, even if you have been making all of the wrong choices and decisions regarding money, today is a new day, and you can start today setting a great example for being financially literate and responsible for your kids. And H, have a heart. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. Although you're trying to be financially literate and you're trying to get out there and make that money, why do you want to make it? Because you love your kids. And we all know that being financially independent gives you room in your head and your heart to really attend to the people who matter, and that's your family.
That's right.
Whenever you have enough money to meet your needs, then you're able to bless other people. You're able to do some of the things you want to do so that your heart and the heart of those around you can be filled. So our 4-point star for today is cash. C-A-S-H, cash.
Love it.
So now everybody here gets 10 seconds to shine. So in our last few minutes, you get 10 seconds to say whatever you want to say. And we're going to start with the very first run. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, there's 683,000 people here in Memphis, and I really, I'm very passionate. I want to help everyone. Really out here to make it happen. And you can reach me. You can reach me at 76626 and just text in the word "my life" because I want to make changes to your life and really help you out. So that's how you can get in contact with me.
All right, good job. I'm not going to charge you my normal $20 fee. Go ahead.
No, this has been great. Thanks for having us. This is a passion, and really it's about, like Shawn said, the youth. Just listen. And we're here to help you because you guys are the future. So we want you to listen, and we're here to help you. You guys got Ron's plug, so I won't give mine.
You saved
Just
$20.
my question for Shawn is, do you have your pen?
There you go.
All right. Go ahead, Shawn.
I wrote that down. Program, explore, and navigate.
There you go.
All right.
But I just want to thank Dr. K for letting me get on the show. I really want to thank Miss Streeter for linking me up with Dr. K. Cause this is a blessing, and these men in here, I like how they suited up and booted up. I hope I be in their place one day, and that's it.
You always say great things. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again, Miss K, and congratulations on moving to your next location.
Thank you.
And again, just understanding that it's 24 hours in a day, and it's the time you apply yourself in those 24 hours, that's what it's all about. And I said customer service, being friendly with somebody, how your day is going. People are still judging you on your business. So always know that it's a year-round thing.
Okay. All right. Randa doesn't need 10 seconds. Great. So Art, I want to thank you. It has been a blast. I mean, everything you've done for me. I also want to thank John and Demetrius. Brother, we miss you wherever you are. You were great. I want to thank George. I want to thank everyone here at AM 990 for all of the guidance and structure you have given me to move on to the next level. So, as always, in parting, I wish you a life full of love, peace, and happiness. If you cannot be in love, then at least try to be happy. If you can't be happy, then at least try to be peaceful. But when your peace has been disturbed, it's time for you to change to a new situation. Follow us on Facebook and go with us to 98.5 New Mix FM in July.